So talk a little bit about, sounds like you started investing at a young age, but talk about sort of getting in and then building that and then how you now are bringing people into the space.
Yeah, and thankfully now millennials, they're the number one
Yeah.
demographic buying houses.
Millennial title, baby.
Yeah, yeah, and they're and there's more of them behind that, especially with the next generation as they're even larger by population than millennials. So we've got a lot of new customers coming into the space. But yeah, my grandfather, I watched him invest in real estate when I was a kid. He had all kinds of rental properties all over the place, doing the rich dad formula. Now he never read that book. He was old school. That's just what he did. He built a business, funneled his money into investments, both stocks and real estate. And I watched that and observed it. And my parents had a single rental property, so I remember going there in between tenants and kind of helping clean things up so they can get the next tenant in. So just an observation. And then when I read Rich Dad Poor Dad in college, that it provided the extra clarity that I needed and that I didn't quite understand growing up, but with that extra clarity on how money actually works and money flows, I was like, aha, I get it now. I get it now. And I didn't in that book. It's a high level, more theory book, but it kind of explains how money flows in a very simple way. I had to go figure out the how to after that, which I did, and ended up flipping 4 houses in college. Not what your typical college kid does,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. I wasn't doing that. That's really cool.
yeah, I mean,
I was flipping something else. Might have been like cups on a ping pong table. I put beer in
yeah,
them.
I did that too. But later on, I
Yeah.
started on weekends just knocking on doors for pre-foreclosures. And but ended up graduating, got a good job, had a great life, low debt, high income, sales, like everything's pretty fun. So the thing that gets in the way of a great life is a good life. And I had a good life after college, making a lot of money, really no debt. I still had 2 rentals, and didn't really do anything else until I got married. Now I'm starting to think about retirement, the kids, and my wife and I, our goal for our kids was private school, and we did that. We've been able to meet. The second one starts private school. She hits that payroll next year,
Yeah.
so
Good luck.
uh, things are going to go up a little bit. But we were pretty happy to do that. But ultimately, flipping houses, because we flipped around 200, we realized and this is what real estate agents do. Um, you get stuck in the trenches and you're really focused on the day-to-day operations, and there's nothing necessarily wrong with that, but unless you can pull yourself out and have that macro view of not only is where's the business going, but where's the business going, and in comparison, and how does that align to your overall goals. And my my wife's our goal in real estate was always build wealth, build passive income, which we started out doing. But when I quit my job, when she quit her job, I mean, you got to eat. Rental properties don't really pay for food. You don't really
Yeah.
make a lot of money off rental properties. It's more of a long-term wealth building play. So that's why we're starting to flip. But the business model had evolved into something that required the constant burn of cash through operations and marketing to get deals, which when we'd realize profits and then churn that. It was just this cycle. So it was around 2018 where we were kind of taking a step back to like, what are we really doing? And we've created a really big job for ourselves, which is fun. You can make a lot of money doing that, just like a realtor doing commission, just like a wholesaler wholesaling houses. But it wasn't helping us reach our long-term goal. So we had this over the next few years. We started winding down the flipping business and moving into more of a hold operation. And then as of last year, we're like, how can we scale that? And the greatest way to scale that was through starting a syndication and a fund to provide good returns for investors, but ultimately allow us to get into much bigger opportunities and better opportunities, and grow faster.
Wow. That's a great, just sort of dialing it back to where you started, in college and doing the flipping and sort of learning it from the bottom up. One of the things that we talk a lot to the people who are interested in real estate, whether it be go to coffee with them or have a sit down or have them listen to a podcast, what have you, is, you touch on a couple points. You really do have to, stop along the way and sort of reevaluate what you're doing and understand and sort of take, tabs of, okay, where am I? Is this really, because what I see, and I actually personally did a little bit of this at one point, was I didn't roadmap it. I just was like, I'm going to go buy properties, and I held a lot of them. And then I woke up one day and it was overwhelming. I was like, my weekends were getting ruined. My wife was always like, "Where the heck are you?" And I was, I wasn't, flipping beer and hitting ping pong. I was, trying to help a tenant figure out if the toy, whatever's going on with their situation, or collecting rent, or doing, and then you get burned out. Like, wait a minute, this isn't really what I sign up for. This, nobody in the books told me about that. So, I mean, I think your point of like reassessing and game planning and making sure objectively that you're moving in the right direction, because it is a process. I mean, you can't go from I want to be in real estate to I now have 400 doors and I'm a syndicate manager. I mean, that sounds awesome, but you had to put in years and years and years of work so that you had a baseline understanding about the nuance of what real estate really is. It's not super duper sexy at the low level. It becomes really exciting as you build portfolios and you can understand, some of the wealth creating opportunities within it. And then to me is just you touched earlier on the affordable housing aspects. You can really change people's lives too as well. I mean, that's, we talk a lot about in our company itself about what we do, and it is meaningful. We provide opportunities for home ownership. We're part of that whole ecosystem, which is a lot of fun.